Today I'm going to be sharing 5 things that you're going to need as soon as you move to Canada. I'm assuming you have your study permit or work permit and you have everything legal sorted out for your move to Canada. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 essential things that you're going to need as soon as you get here. Maybe not as soon as you get here, but at least within the first 3 months you want to have these things, just so that your transition is smooth and that you have like everything you need to survive on a day-to-day basis here. The first thing you're going to need is a cell phone plan, and Canada has some of the most expensive plans that I've ever heard of. First of all, if you're coming from Africa back home, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have cell phone plans. Like we don't work with cell phone plans. You get prepaid airtime. We call it airtime, at least in South Africa, but anyway, I don't know what your country calls it, but whatever we use is prepaid. Our data is prepaid. Everything is just prepaid. But here they have cell phone plans, and basically what you do is pay on a month-to-month basis whatever price, and you get unlimited data, or like a set cap of data, and you have unlimited minutes and unlimited text messages. Usually is what it's like. My cell phone plan cost me about $44 a month. Another thing you're gonna have to get used to is this whole including excluding tax thing. 98% of the prices that you're gonna see here are gonna be excluding tax. So don't be shocked when you get to paying and the price is higher than what it said initially. That's just how they do it. I don't know why. My cell phone plan is with Fizz, and I'm pretty sure it's based in Quebec. Mine is one of the cheapest that I've heard of. I've heard prices ranging all the way from 40 all the way to 100. It can get very crazy, so do your research on cell phone plans. Before I moved, I actually just googled Canadian cell phone plans and then added Reddit to the end. I searched up so many things. Like, that's how I found what residence I wanted to live in for uni. Reddit can be so useful, so use it in a useful way. Search up what cell phone plans are the cheapest, which ones work the best. Find out what you can include in your packages or exclude from your packages. You can tailor it to what you want. The next thing you're going to need to get, and this is like a need but also not really, you're gonna need a Canadian based bank account so that you're able to pay for your day-to-day things without getting charged international fees and things like that. The bank that I use is Scotiabank, and they're pretty nice. I haven't really had a bad experience with them. I have my debit card with them, and I also have a credit card with them, which is the second thing that is a need but also not really. A lot of places here work with credit cards. Online websites, just a bunch of stuff just don't accept debit cards. Like, a lot of places don't accept debit cards, but all of them accept credit cards. It's very easy to get a credit card here, which is such a scam because they will give you like $1,000 of credit, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna spend all that money, and when it's time to pay it off, you won't pay it off, or you don't even know the fact that you don't even know that you're gonna pay it off. They give out credit cards like it's, I don't know, like it's a chocolate. Get a credit card. I have both of mine from Scotiabank. I've had really good experiences with them. I did have to go in person for both of them. So how I decided to bank with Scotiabank is because they have a location near my university, which is where I was staying in first year. And I was like, okay, if I can walk to the bank, that would be amazing. And it actually did work out pretty well. Anytime I had a problem, it was just like a 10-minute walk to the bank. The third thing you're gonna need is a piece of Canadian issued ID. This can be a driver's license or a photo card. So Ontario has the Ontario photo card where you can get one if you don't have a driver's license. That's the one I have. I don't think I should flash you my ID because I don't know what you would do with it, but yeah, it's basically a photo card. I'll put the example here. It's just a piece of photo ID, and this is going to be helpful so that you don't walk around with your passport everywhere you go, because if you lose your passport, you're actually stuck. So don't do that. Try to get some other type of ID. Ontario has the photo card, but if you're not in Ontario, you can get your driver's license. Getting your G1 would, I think, be the easiest thing. It's called the G1 in Ontario. I don't know what it's called for other provinces, but it's essentially like a learner's driver's license, and that's going to be enough. Sometimes you'll need ID for picking up packages. If you want to go out, if you want to drink, you're going to need ID. So it's best that you just leave your passport at home and get one of the other forms of ID. Obviously, it's going to take a while. These take a while to get. The photo card took me between like 4 to 6 weeks to actually receive in the mail, but applying for it was pretty quick. I just went to the government Canada or like something Ontario, I don't know. I just went and got it, and it cost me about $40, I believe, somewhere around there, less than 50. And yeah, it's been a lifesaver. I don't walk around with my passport. I usually just have my ID, my bus card, and my student card is what I carry with me. Another thing you're gonna need, which is a side note, is like an honorable mention kind of thing, is a bus card. If you don't plan on getting a car, get some type of bus pass and get a monthly one. Do not do daily things. Don't do that. Get a monthly bus pass and use that. You will need something to get around, and public transport works well here, so I don't think you would need a car at all, unless you live really far or something like that. The next thing you're gonna have to do is sort out your health insurance. For universities, if you're international, they require you to have a Canadian health insurance plan, and that's usually covered in your tuition. So you pay for it in your tuition, and you just have to go onto the insurance's website and find your details, and you get your little insurance card. I don't know if this is true for the whole of Ontario, but where I live, it's UHEP, so UHIP, and University Health Insurance Plan, I think is what it stands for. I don't know. And since I've been here, I haven't had to pay for appointments, tests, nothing like that. The only thing I've had to pay for was an x-ray, and so I'm thinking that UHEP doesn't cover imaging like that, so that's okay. But even that was expensive. I don't remember, but yeah, sort out your insurance. You don't want to have to pay for all of these medical services. If you're moving alone and you're going to be living alone, or just living with friends, or living in residence, get health insurance, because you don't want to pay for all of these things. You don't want to have to pay for that, so do that. Make use of your campus clinics and pharmacies and whatever. They usually will sell things to you at a different price because you have insurance, and because it's an on-campus clinic or on-campus pharmacy, whatever. Do whatever you can to get your insurance and use it at your university. This is if you are a student. If you work, I don't know how it works for people who are here working, but essentially my point is get some type of health insurance. So the last thing that you're gonna need, which is not the least important, but it is the last one you're gonna need, is a SIN number. It's a social insurance number, I'm pretty sure, and it's what allows you to work in Canada. So you're gonna have to apply for that. You're gonna need proof of residence and your study permit if you're a student, or your work permit if you are working. You can apply online or you can apply in person. If you go in person, you get it same day on the spot. If you apply online, it takes like a week or two. I think it might take a maximum like of a month, but that's really like a maximum. I don't remember how long it took me to get mine, but basically that's what you need to work. You cannot get employed. You can get employed, but you can't get paid without a SIN number because they need it for tax purposes. So you're gonna need to get that if you want to work. If you applied for your study visa anytime, I think before 2021 November, I think it was. I'll put the exact date here because I don't really remember. If you applied or got your study permit anytime before that date, you are now allowed to work for over 20 hours, which is crazy. I think it's gonna last until December this year, so December 2023. It's a trial that they're doing. I don't know if it's gonna continue or not. When before you could only work a maximum of 20 hours per week. Right now, I can work as much as I want, basically, but you also have to keep in mind that you're a student, and so it kind of limits you a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna leave all the websites that I use to apply for my ID, for my cell phone plan, for the SIN number. I'm gonna leave everything linked down below, but most of these things are really easy to find. All you have to do is literally just search in Google. You can type in the most random sentence into Google and you will find an answer. So make use of the tools that you have at your fingertips and find out. Make sure you're always asking people, checking to see what the best option for you is. Don't just have one answer and go with that, or have one person tell you to go with Bell and then you are on Bell paying, I don't know, $60 for a cell phone plan. That is it for today's video. Those are the 5 things that I wanted to share with you. If you have any more important things that you think people need as soon as they come to Canada, drop them down in the comments. Let's talk, share your experiences. You know, I wish I knew these things as soon as I came, but these are things that you learn with time and just with talking to people. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you in any way. If you want to see any more videos like this, let me know or give it a thumbs up. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you